Hello, my name is Elizabeth Quinta. Today I will discuss the categorization of art movements in the Interwar and World War II years in order to produce a comprehensive understanding of this time period. The art movements in the interwar and World War II years can be categorized in three separate groups, which each contain the following shared themes or patterns. 1. Rejection of progressive ideas, interwar classicism, Bauhaus, and 14th Street School. 2. Rise in urban artists, Harlem Renaissance, Mexican muralism, and outsider art. And 3. Imaginative and intertwined reality. First, the rejection of progressive ideas. Interwar classicism, which spanned from 1919 to 1939, encouraged a rival in classic artistic techniques. It's the era dubbed return to order, and it is linked to the political rise of fascism. The era is not forward-thinking and is nostalgic and regressive. The time period included two actual art schools, Bauhaus in Europe and 14th Street School in New York City. Bauhaus focused on reuniting creativity and manufacturing while attempting to add soul to soulless art. 14th Street School, on the other hand, focused on the messiness of ordinary life and rejected modernism. The school often emulated old works of old artists. Additionally, American regionalism, which lasted from 1921 to 1943, similarly rejected styles of modern art. The movement embraced subjects of the American heartland at the height of the Great Depression in a very detailed manner fit for storytelling. Second, the rise in urban artists. The Harlem Renaissance, which spanned from 1920 to the early 1940s, is a key example of the rise in urban artists. Not just a visual arts movement, the Harlem Renaissance also included literary and musical arts within the African American community in Harlem, New York. The movement had no single style and helped shift the center of the art world to New York City after World War II. Many artists of the Harlem Renaissance were employed by the government, which helped increase artist commissions. Similarly, Mexican muralism, which was a rival period from 1920 to 1950, spawned out of the need to promote pride and nationalism in Mexican communities. It no longer was simply just a display of artwork. It was an opportunity to educate and inform communities with various messages that evolved over time. Lastly, outsider art, which began in 1923, is a non-traditional movement of artists who aren't normally artists. Primarily, urban artists of this movement used whatever sort of material they could get their hands on rather than traditional materials such as canvas. Artists of this movement are often battling emotional conflict and employ techniques of patterns in their artwork. Third, the movements of imagination and intertwined reality. Surrealism, which lasted from 1924 to 1966, contained artists that attempted to channel their imagination in their artwork. These artists believed that the rational mind was repressive, so they looked to imagination and dreams for creativity. Works often had reoccurring motifs due to an artist's reoccurring dreams. Similarly, magic realism, which began in 1925, was a merger of the past and present. Artists didn't necessarily channel imagination, but attempted to convey wonder of observable reality. The movement emphasized the strangeness of the outward experiences. Social realism, on the other hand, which lasted from 1929 to the late 1950s, created figurative and realistic images of the masses, working class individuals, because the artists of the movement envisioned themselves as workers or laborers. The artwork was an attack on the status quo and the social power structure of the time, and artists believed that the political content of their works made them modern and relevant. Here are my 2 questions for the class. Why was it so important for artists to return to order during the interwar period? And why was the Harlem Renaissance significant for the African American community? Thank you.